They have had contact with him. They did provide a phone to him to try to negotiate with them. We have crisis negotiators on scene, but for quite a while now, this individual has not been responsive to their commands. Just going back a little bit to how this all started, around 3:30 p.m., there was a call to 911 about a vehicle that was driving dangerously on I-40. At some point, the vehicle sideswiped another vehicle on the freeway, causing an accident. Officers responded to that. The individual who caused the accident had fled the scene. They went ahead and handled the accident. Nobody was injured at that time, but they knew the individual had fled toward one of the car dealerships on one side of the freeway. This all happened on one of the off-ramps from, I think, I-40 onto Eubank, and I think he was driving the wrong way at the time. Officers attempted to locate him in the area but did not find him. About an hour later, officers got a call that there was a person matching the description of the driver who was in the middle of the freeway on the land kind of in between the freeway. They attempted to take him into custody but realized he had a handgun, so they started taking more precautions and took their time. At that point, that's when we call our SWAT team in to try to take over the negotiations and try to get the individual into custody. Fortunately, we also had some help from state police and from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office, who have helped shut down the freeway and keep traffic flowing. I know at times that traffic has been stuck, and there was some traffic for a long time that was stuck on the freeway. We recently got our motors unit out there, and they were on our motorcycles trying to navigate them and get them off the freeway so they could navigate around the area. So that's where we're at right now. Been out here for many hours. We have our helicopter overhead, keeping an eye on the individual, but as I said, he hasn't been responsive and is not responding to officers at this time. Any questions?
No shots fired?
Just one shot from the suspect, we believe, at least one shot toward the drone, but no shots fired from any of the officers.
Did he at any point point the guns at the officers?
I'm not aware, but I'm not, I haven't been informed that whether he did or not.
Do you guys have a timeline that you're working with?
I mean, it all started about 3:30 with the report of the accident, and probably about closer to 5 is when they tried to make contact when they saw reports that he matched the description. So 3:30 to 9:30, really about 6 hours this whole thing has been going on. I drove through here shortly after they identified him or where he was, and traffic was really backed up. So I understand people are probably really frustrated and trying to drive through and get to where they're going. I know this is an inconvenience, but officers had to block off this entire area, and they continue to block it off to keep people safe. And like I said, when there's possibly someone who's intoxicated has access to a handgun, it makes it a really volatile and dangerous situation. So we want people to be safe.
Have you guys identified the suspect?
We have a tentative identity of him, but we won't know for sure until we take him into custody.
Do you know how many units were called out, officers?
I don't know. We've had officers from most of the area commands, as I said, as well as from state police and county sheriffs. So we're trying to relieve those officers who have been here most of the time. We've had police service aides helping to block intersections. So it's taxed us for sure. But the ultimate goal is to keep people safe and keep drivers safe.
We heard a large boom earlier in the evening. Was that like a flashbang or something? Or?
All right, we are dumping out of that press conference from Albuquerque Police. We have just learned around 3:30 this afternoon, there have been calls to 911 about a car driving dangerous along I-40, even sideswiping another car during that. We're told the driver drove off and was near the car dealerships. Officers tried to find that driver, but were not able to locate him at the time. But according to APD, an hour later, officers got a call about a man matching that driver's description. When they tried to get him into custody, they learned he had a handgun. They have been trying to talk to that driver for hours now. They have thrown him a phone, trying to get in contact with him. But according to APD, he is not listening to commands and is not responding to officers at all. We do know at one point, according to the Albuquerque Police Department, the suspect fired off one round from his handgun towards the police drone. Right now, APD has not fired any weapons, according to APD, but we do know they, along with BCSO and state police, are all on the scene. There traffic in that area, as you can imagine, is still a nightmare. So if you can avoid it for now, please do. We'll bring you much more as soon as we learn more.